Hello, and everybody.
That's a really good intro. That's gonna be our intro from now on.
So yeah, this
What's
is
up,
yeah,
guys?
this is the first annual, not annual. This is the first bi-week. I'd say bi-weekly probably.
Yeah, not the
Pop.
bi-weekly you're thinking of, guys.
Yeah, no.
The
Yeah,
other one.
yeah. This is the first bi-weekly SM64 Hackcast, a podcast all about SM64 ROM hacks.
Anything really.
Yeah, this first podcast is going to be a bit more like loose form. It's not going to be as like structured as the other ones are still not going to be super structured, but like this one is just a little less structured. We're just going to like be introducing ourselves and stuff because it's the first one.
The other ones will have like specific topics. It might even have like specific guests relating to that topic as well.
Yeah,
But this one's more of a like, who are you? Who are these people?
yeah, because and also it's a lot easier to do this for the first time because this is the first time any of us have really. I've done a few kind of podcasts, but that's about it.
Yeah, we're pretty much winging this.
Yeah. I haven't heard you speak, King Toad.
Yeah,
His
sorry,
face says everything.
I'm just playing something in the background. Maybe I shouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah,
See how prepared we are, guys, so far.
Don't worry, I'm still paying attention. It's just
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Okay.
in an attempt right now. He's in an attempt.
Listen, I'm
Okay.
playing Masters Challenge. You cannot blame me, okay?
I'm the one who told you to do it, basically.
Okay. So, King
Very
Toad,
cool.
who are you, even though I know everyone knows who you are, and, like, what do you do and all that?
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Okay, no.
Top of the morning to you, laddies.
Alright, so I am the king of the Toad, and I play video games. Okay, I started playing ROM hacks in 2017, like late 2017, and joined the community in late 2018, and ever since I've just been playing hacks a lot, and I've done a few things, mainly like beat some Kaizo hacks and speedrun some hacks, get world record even in some of them, and yeah, that's about it. I just enjoy playing SM64 ROM hacks.
Oh wow, that story really gets to me. I'm crying.
Look, okay. How, like, can you give, like, a brief introduction?
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Peter from that channel, Peter Pie. I also go by a different name. I am the local man, or Loca Mash, if you like to
Oh, that
call
was
it.
your brother.
Oh, I mean, can I edit it out real quick? My bad.
Oh,
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat
So
just pointed
I've-
out I messed up. I messed up the layout a little bit.
oh, can people actually hear
Yeah,
us?
no,
That's the
it's
most
fine. It's
important
fine.
question.
Everyone can hear us. It's just yeah, it's fine. We're fine.
Because I think people think you're talking to yourself. But yeah, I've been a long time Mario 64 player. I pretty much played it since I was like 2, 3 years old, because that's basically when it came out. Around then, it came out like '96. I was born '97, and yeah, it's a game that's been around with me for such a long time. ROM hacks I started, I want to say like 2010, 2009 ish, and the first one I actually played was Missing Stars. But I wasn't really like a big ROM hack enthusiast back then.
Well,
I thought they were cool, but they weren't as sophisticated as they are now. Like,
I
of
mean,
course,
yeah.
Black Virus and all that.
It'd be kind of difficult to be a ROM hack enthusiast when the only ROM hack is Missing Stars. To be fair.
Yeah. Back in my day, it was just monochrome Mario 64 and wacky worlds and things like that. But
Yeah.
I know.
So,
But yeah, they were a good time. But this community specifically, I joined like pretty much roughly the same time as KT. Me and Trueball21 decided to do co-op of these hacks because Kaze recently released, like back then, Super Mario 64 Online, but they were compatible with ROM hacks too. So they're like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's play ROM hacks together instead of speedrunning these hacks and trying to get all the stars and get the top time. Let's actually play ROM hacks together this way, make it more interesting. So we started doing that, and then we joined the community. We started with like SR6, and then we went
Yeah.
into Kaizos.
Started was the best, honestly.
the one that I remember.
We literally started with Extreme Edition and Masters
Yeah,
Challenge,
the one-
the only two good ones.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The one that I remember you guys doing was Master Challenge.
Yeah, so that's how. So even though I've technically started hacks since like the day they were kind of out, I wouldn't really call myself an active player of them until like 2018.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
now I'm here in space doing a HackCast in space.
yeah, we're all actually in like outer space. We asked NASA. NASA's actually sponsoring this.
Yeah,
And that's
let's
because
go,
the
NASA.
guest today is Spaceman64. Please give a round of applause to Spaceman64.
Yeah, he was able to launch the shuttle for us.
Okay, I'll give a brief introduction, my little story. So I started playing like ROM hacks, or my first like when I first got into when I first started playing ROM hacks is like around 2013, 2014. My first ROM hack I think was like 74 Star Road or something, but really the ones that I remember playing back then were Star Event 6 and Star Event 7.
Starting with the best.
Mainly because I played them on a car ride.
Hey, this looks fun to do for like 2 hours on the car ride.
Yeah. But anyway. So yeah, I kind
I
of
could, I
played.
would play SR6 on the bus.
I played a few ROMAX for a bit, then I kind of stopped playing until like around 2017. 2017 is when I actually started like actually trying to complete ROM hacks instead of just playing them for like an hour or two. So 2017.
What were you like? Which ones were you playing?
If I remember correctly, I was just playing a bunch of casual hacks back then. Stuff like Star Revenge 8, a bunch of Star Revenges. There was also
You're probably like, these are the only ROM hacks that exist back then.
yeah. I think I did also complete Star Road at that time, and all that. So yeah, that's
I guess that's a good question. Like, what was like the unconventional way you've played ROM hacks, like location wise, like school,
Yeah.
buses, like things like that? What has been like the weirdest time you played hacks before?
Yeah, so as well. So that's basically how I got started. I guess 2017 I just kind of got bored and I started playing a bunch of hacks. That's a good way to put it. Shining Stars 3 was another hack I played in 2017. Yeah. But it wasn't until like 2018 that I actually got into extreme hacks because like Treasure World exists. I want to play it, and then I played it.
God.
It's a bad choice.
I actually in 2018 I actually got past Key 2, which I'm surprised because I wasn't that good in 2018. So
And
yeah.
you're now the Fantasy 182 master now.
No, that's Aki now.
Oh,
I'm still the Fantasy
Former.
100.
He got the record.
But yeah, that you're skipping ahead a little bit. So yeah, 2019 I didn't play much, or 2018 and 2018 I played quite a bit. The last thing I played in 2018 was Starvin 6.25. I remember playing that hack was actually a really fun hack to play. I'm mentioning specifically because it was like one of the most. I'd say it's like probably one of the most important hacks I've played in terms of like my history. And like how like much it like shaped my opinion of hacks and stuff. But it wasn't until so 2019 I wanted to actually start ROMAX speedrunning in 2019. I did learn Star Event 7.5 130 star because 131 didn't exist because 1.1 didn't exist. But I never.
1.1 decided to exist.
So the day that I was gonna do my first 130 star run, what's it called? My hard drive started failing. And then once I actually got a new hard drive, by the time that happened, I didn't feel like running the hack anymore. I think I also
true
tried.
story.
Yeah, I think I also tried running Star Road 80 star, but I just didn't like the category at all. So yeah, I didn't actually play that many hacks since 2019. I mainly was doing 602 games, Galaxy, Sunshine, the like.
We wouldn't be the
yeah.
people who we are if it wasn't for ROM hacks.
Yeah.
Basically.
But in 2020 is actually when I actually started getting involved in like the actual community. So I had been like playing hacks for like six on and off for like 6 years, and then 2020 is actually when I actually started talking to other people who also played hacks.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there used to be an old Discord server basically called RHC.
Yeah.
And that's how people technically, I guess formally, got invited to the community because, like, oh, you get to talk to everybody about these hacks, casuals, kaizos, different topics, hack creation, things like that. But now it evolved to just like a public space that anybody can join. It used to be a little bit more exclusive, but that's how people normally got exposed to the community back then.
Yeah.
They just like noticed you on Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah. What I was saying now. See, 2020 is when I actually started. 2020 is when I started learning. Or 2020 is when I actually started running Star Revenge 7.5 131 star. Fun fact, actually, the first run that I did of that was rejected because I didn't know there was a 131st star.
It's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Anyway, see, in 2020, I kind of actually like started doing stuff. I learned Zartak Rebooted, which I did a whole 2-3 runs, and then I never touched again. What was it? I learned, and then the main thing that happened near the end of 2020 is that I actually learned Fantasy 100 star, and now Fantasy's like the hack that I care about running the most. Now, it's kind of
this kid's going places.
Yeah, it's kind of overtaken Starman 7.5 in my mind from that position. Although I still like that as a run.
What are your future plans for runs?
I'm planning on running more 100-star in Fantasy. I don't want to run 182 for a while, mainly because it's a big time sink.
It's like a 6-hour category, right?
Yeah, it's a 6-hour category, and
oh god.
Yeah. So, anyway.
And I thought Dream Edition 38 star was long.
Yeah.
0 star though.
Hey, at least I'm not Sev running like in a 10-hour category or something. I've done long categories. It's just I can't do them frequently at all.
What is the longest you've done? I guess technically the longest you've done was the multiple Mario games.
Yeah, I've tried some 602 runs. I never actually finished them.
What was the furthest you got?
I got to like Galaxy 2 in one of them, and then I just like started feeling sick, and I was like, I should stop.
I hate these green stars. Okay.
Anyway.
It was either you vomited on your Wii trying to finish the 602, or you save your Wii and your stomach.
Yeah, I wanted to do both, so yeah, it was actually kind of difficult to drop out from that one because my brain wanted to keep going. I just was feeling sick.
Yeah.
Do they include Odyssey nowadays?
No, they don't. I think there's extra categories that have Odyssey and 3D World though.
Yeah, they have like a multiple like
That's
2D
the
Mario
18.
as well.
That's the 1862. Yeah. It is ridiculous. I would never do that ever.
There's also a cool one called like Mario Hour, where it's like you have to complete the classic Mario games in under an hour.
Yeah.
I think it's SMB1, SMB Lost Levels, SMB2, SMB3, World, and 64.
Yeah. 64 is 0.
Under an hour.
Yeah, all any percent, basically.
I mean, I guess for 64 you could do either 0 or 1 star because, you know, the 0 star BLJ is kind of hard.
Memes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't think... the thing is with the 0-star BLJ is that normally if people fail it, people go for the 1-star BLJ if it's like a marathon or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the 0-star
BLJ
I've
cool
never
challenge
done
to do
the
down the
0-star
line.
BLJ. I tried for hours, I couldn't get it.
I've never even tried doing SBLJ. I've never cared that much about vanilla. I used to run vanilla.
They don't do like the wrong warp in Super Mario World. I doubt they do that, right?
I think they just take the Star Road.
Yeah, I think it's 11
Speaking
exit.
of which, yeah, Star Road, that's it.
Oh, we're getting back on topic, yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to Mario 64.
We were going to ask each other questions. So, I guess I'll ask my question first, just so that you guys get like kind of a good idea of what questions to ask.
In which year was Barack Obama elected?
Obama sphere? Yeah.
Okay. There's 2 correct answers.
I mean, yeah, there's 2008 and 2018. 2012.
2018.
Yeah, we're probably going to do a music quiz at the end of this as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Anyway. So my first question to you guys is basically I'm trying to think. Oh no, I remember.
Mario can't remember.
Yeah, so what's your no? Oh yeah. So I kind of had a pretty publicized experience with Mario's Treasure Dome: The Revival. My question to you two is: have you guys had any like similar like bad experiences? Like not like bad experiences because the hack is bad, but like hacks that have actively frustrated you, like that hack frustrated me. Or on the reverse, any hacks that have like done the same, have, instead of actively frustrating you, like any hacks which have like been like very important to you or something when you played it casually for whatever reason.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna ask how many words did your comment have.
Oh, wow.
Yes, this is a game show, obviously. So, Loka, do you have any ideas?
I guess for Mario Treasure Dome, the revival specifically, no, I didn't have a frustrating time. I remember you and I were doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were both streaming it too, and then, like, you rated me later on. And you're like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I recall. Because I forget what the level was called. It had, like, a really hard level at the end.
Yeah,
because
actually,
the way to hack...
The ending level, actually, in hindsight, I think it's actually a pretty good Kaizo level, although I think it's a little too difficult for the hack, but I don't like the Cadex level. That one wasn't fun. And then also there's so many like random things that you just have to guess that I don't like. Like you just have to know. You just have to know
the hack
to do
was,
things.
the way the hack was structured was if you die, like you stay in the same area, like you won't lose your red coins, you won't lose your coins, things like that. This was the only level that didn't do that, which kind of frustrated some people because like, oh, we have this like really hard level for something that's mostly a casual hack, but now it's like even if I get a red coin, I'll die and have to start all over. So that's what people's impressions were.
I feel like that's a similar case to like Hell in Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like it's the only level that takes you out, but it's also the hardest.
I never said I liked Hell in Fantasy, mind you. Also, it's not the only level that takes you out. Toxic Temple and Water Temple also take you out, but they're very hard to die in. Or Toxic Temple you can die in, but not in like the main Star Gathering part of the run.
Yeah. I guess my sort of input on that hack was that, it was solid for the most part. It was like a good attempt at a casual hack, but I think the focus was lacking because like you wanted a casual experience, but you also have this level that's kind of challenging. For me personally, I didn't struggle with it, but of course, mostly people who don't play. Most people who play Kaizo, people who don't really play that much hacks, are most likely going to be playing this hack, and people who have no idea, who's never even seen these Kaizos. Yeah. So, in my opinion, I've never been frustrated by it, but the focus was lacking there. It's like you want to have a clear focus. You want to have, okay, this is mostly a casual hack. Yeah. Probably has a pretty good, difficulty curve that gets sort of challenging over time. But I would say, that was a little too much. It wasn't the hardest thing ever. I guess Mario's New Earth was kind of a better example of that. Yeah, it had like a better challenging level at the end. Yeah,
it not only had a better challenging level, but it had a better lead up. Like it actually, it wasn't just a major spike at the end. It was more of a curve, and that's what's it called?
But in terms of hacks that frustrated me, I don't really get tilted that easily. I have been annoyed before. One of them that I can recall was TIC Course 8. That was probably the worst level I've ever played in my life in any Mario 64 on that.
So two people here can answer. Two people here can elaborate on that. I can't.
Yeah, that was a really annoying experience. And I guess Night of Doom, Rainbow Drugs, the first time I got that was pretty annoying. And this was with the cheese too. But I still found it kind of infuriating. I never raged of it, of course, but those were the 2 stars that really annoyed me for some reason.
Just for clarification, the main reason I raged at Treasure Dome: The Revival was that some of the levels at near the end you had no way of finding on your own.
There was that 1 star that was it was covered by a cage, but it was the same cage you used for the Vanish Cap, except the vanish cap didn't actually work for this cage. So it's like, oh, just make it a separate cage texture. That's all you need to do.
And then there was that one level that you had to you had to go back to the very beginning of the game and look up, and you would never know to do that if you didn't look it up.
I'm pretty sure that was the only thing I looked up.
Yeah.
From the hack, because I did beat it in one stream, but that was like the only thing. I was like, where the heck is this level? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was definitely a good attempt at a hack. I don't think it was as bad as people were making out to be. Like, it wasn't like crazy hard, that last level. But again, it might have just been easier for me. But I did understand that, yeah, it was too much for casual players. You just needed the right focus. That's all you needed.
Painter, do you have any thoughts?
I haven't played Treasure Dome, but well, I guess if we're talking about a hack that had I had the same experience with, or like kind of close to that, well, I could say TIC, but I feel like that's just
I think that's just everyone who's played TIC. I mean, Loka said the exact same thing.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really, because I knew not to really. I wasn't really annoyed by playing TIC because I just knew what I was getting into. I knew the levels were bad, and they were blatantly bad, and they were made to be bad because that's what TV was trying to do. So I knew going in. That's why I wasn't really annoyed as I played it, because I already knew that this was bad. So to be annoyed by it was kind of to be expected. Of course, like I said, was the big one. But if you go into hacks knowing that they're really bad, getting tilted by it shouldn't really be a surprise, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the main reason I got tilted by Treasure Dome the Arrival, is that it was such a good hack until Course 10, and then such a not it was the best design. I could add a lot of good design decisions until Course 10, where you just had to see up in this random place earlier in the game.
I think some people had trouble with the I think it was the Vanish Cap course.
Oh yeah,
finding the stars.
The Vanish Cap course was actually I feel like that was a bit of a difficulty spike.
I actually didn't know this for the longest time. It was.
What?
Pictures looked similar for some reason.
What did he say?
But it turns out it's actually Masses Challenge B2 fight.
So what did he say?
Wow.
You just kind of cut out for a second.
Oh, my bad. I noticed the space background cut a little bit. Perfect timing. The level is actually based on B2 fight in Masses Challenge. I never knew that, but when I look back at it, I was like, "What the hell? This is exactly what it is." It actually gave it potential.
What level?
B2 fight in Masses Challenge.
It's based off of
It was like the IROC fight, the icy looking level with the IROC on the top.
Yeah.
I think KT, I don't know if you got to that yet.
Yeah, I got that. It's
an
awful level in Masters Challenge.
Yeah. Key 1's pretty bad, but Key 2, it's like, it could have been cool.
Yeah.
I think Key 1 is just long and boring, but Key 2 is actually frustrating.
Plus, it's got that ending to get to the warp in the first place. Those tilted boxes you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions, or because that? Have you?
I think I asked it before. I asked what was the most unconventional way you played hacks, in terms of location, controller, I guess.
Yeah. I already explained. So I'll elaborate more on my situation. Basically, it was a road trip. So I was kind of stuck in the car. And I just decided to bring along a laptop, and I was like, wait a second, I can play hacks on here. Or
literally anything else, but
yeah, I decided to play hacks because I had no idea what else to play. So I think I played SR6 during a road trip. I don't think I played SR7 during a road trip though. But you want to know the funniest thing? Guess what controller I used on the road trip?
I mean, I would say keyboard, but I feel like that's a little too obvious.
Also, I didn't know how to use a keyboard.
Guitar Hero controller.
That would be a great
classic.
That would be a great controller for somebody that had a Guitar Hero controller. I used it.
I think Simple Flips did it, didn't he? For 16 star or something.
Yeah. What's it called? I used it.
Bigfoot Touch Me also did that kind of recently.
Yeah. What's it called?
Well, he didn't finish a run, but he's been playing with a Guitar Hero controller.
Yeah, I actually used an Ouya controller.
Let's go, the best console. Did incredibly well, just like the
Yeah.
Virtual Boy.
What's great about the
Even
what's
better.
great about the console is nothing. What's great about the controller is that it has Bluetooth, and so if you need a Bluetooth controller and you bought an Ouya for some stupid reason, you can use the Ouya controller as a Bluetooth controller. That's the only thing the Ouya is good for.
At least they did something right.
And the controller isn't even that good, but you know it works if you're on a road trip.
This was the Ouya's whole purpose.
I think I might have also used.
Secretly, yeah.
I think I might have also used an Xbox controller at one point, Xbox 360, but I don't remember. So yeah, Kate, have you played SM64 Hacks in any weird circumstances like that?
I feel like the worst I feel like the worst is keyboard. Like, you know, I've not really like played in any like weird situations, I guess.
Yeah, I get it.
The worst controller I used, I think, was like a like very budget controller that my dad used for his PS3 at the time.
Yeah.
But it's like the cable disconnected sometimes, and it was kind of frustrating. But I think that's it in terms of bad controllers.
So you're saying you didn't
Oh
use
yeah,
it?
yeah. Hold on. I remember I in 2019 I also had a really shitty like controller that worked on I think it was PS4, but it also worked on PC. And the controller was so fragile because like I got like a few stars in EE back at the time when, you know, I still got stars in that.
I got like
Very
17.
yearly.
I got like 17 stars in that, and then I was like, I don't like this hack, and I quit.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched
But
the
yeah,
hack since I haven't touched the hack since except for music reasons. What were you saying,
That's
Doug?
been a joy for you.
But yeah, basically what happened is that like it was back when the controller was still like, you know, it had nothing wrong, at least seemingly it had nothing wrong. But like once I got the star, I was happy, and you know, I did a little jump like that, and I held the controller with the handle. And then when I go to put my hand down, my controller hits the desk, and a part of the controller just comes flying off. it's it was so cheap, like the shell. The shell was incredibly sensitive,
Okay.
and
Loka?
it didn't last very long.
Yeah. Loka, I'm assuming you don't have any interesting stories to tell? Or maybe you do.
Well, we'll see. So in high school, when I was a senior, I participated in like a student-teacher thing because that's what I normally do, teaching. And
Yeah.
I did like a student-teacher thing, so like I observed other teachers in my high school,
I see.
and like just observe how they teach. And I had to write notes on my laptop as I do it, like
Okay.
basically like have the tips on like how to do it well. And there was this one session where the class was mostly just taking a test, so there wasn't much teaching going on. So she was like, you just do whatever. So what I did was I played Star Road, and I was the student teacher.
Wait, what did I
basically.
say? Can you? Sorry, my internet
I was
is.
playing Star Road in the middle of the session.
That's strange.
Like I was sitting all the way in the back of the
Yeah.
classroom, and I was just like I think I even remember I was in course 11. I was in Colossal Camp. Having a terrible time playing it on keyboard because
Yeah.
I was a keyboard player back then, but now things have changed now.
Yeah.
But someday, because there's a what's it called? There's like a Mr. Beast video of him playing Fortnite in the middle of the ocean. I was like, you know what? I should do that one time. I'll just put myself in a little bubble or ball in the middle of the ocean and try to get TD Reds in there.
What was it?
I remember I would put Project 64 on the USB stick, and I'd bring that to my middle school because sometimes they let us go into the computer room, and yeah, we would be allowed to play games for an hour or two. So I played EE in school, pretty much.
I don't think
And I beat it too.
I don't think I've ever played any ROM hacks in school. But what I have, actually, I don't think I've. Wait, no, yeah, no. There's no interesting stories to tell besides the road trip one.
Oh yeah, the best part about that was my school only had Mac computers, so I purposely had to get like a Mac Project 64 version just to play it on there, and to people to surround me as I was playing because like, oh my god, this is so cool they can do that.
Oh,
But of course,
yeah.
you had to be careful of the librarian. Be like, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah. Wait, there's a Mac version of Project 64? I thought it was Windows only. Oh, probably it's Project 64
I think it's
2.x or
called
something.
Yeah, I think it's like called something specific.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Yeah, I know that there's no Project 64 1.6 for Mac.
Yeah, and
Or
technically,
Linux.
I mean, I wouldn't. I guess it's not necessarily weird, but I also did play a couple hacks and packs, 2020, because me and TB21 went to PAX because it's
Oh,
near
I
him.
see.
So I had to drive like 4 hours there to get there. So I brought my laptop and we played some hacks there, and we made a joke to where it's like, let's have our own panel where you just play hacks on a big screen and everybody to see, shows TIC and all that. Oh, these look fun.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess those are like the two craziest stories I have.
I've always been interested in going to PAX, but I've just never. I've never been. I've always been interested in going to like a convention or like PAX or something, but like I've never really cared enough about like conventions like that to actually go to one.
Yeah, PAX was kind of secondary. We mostly went just to like see each other.
Oh,
PAX
yeah,
was like
yeah.
just the second like reason to go. you
Yeah,
know?
I get
It was
that.
like a place to go.
I get that. Daniel just said, "What is PAX in chat?" It's PAX. There's like three different like. It's basically a convention. There's PAX East, PAX West, and PAX South. They're all in America. I think there might be one in Europe. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's basically like a big gaming convention.
Fuck the North. They don't get a PAX.
PAX East is in like Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's technically like Northeastern, basically.
Yeah.
And they have it at different
Yeah.
dates. Like PAX East is usually like on spring, like March, April. They're having it in April this year, I believe.
Yeah.
They're having it actually very late. And the one in West is September, I believe.
Yeah. But yeah, another reason why I haven't ever been to a PAX is that I live in Florida and what's it called?
That's no excuse.
No, it's just what's it called? Basically, Texas is pretty far away and Boston is pretty far away. And combined, it's much more difficult to actually like go to a convention like that. The only convention I can think of that actually was reasonably near me was like the one Minecon that was in Orlando, but it's Minecon, so I didn't care.
The only thing of Minecon I know is like those videos of like weird things that happen there. I think it's like the European, like UK, I think it is.
Daniel, you can't really get much in that gaming convention. It's in Minecon you actually got an actual like special cape for Minecraft. But
Wow.
besides that,
And a creeper was in it and exploded.
yeah. Besides that, mainly there's some vendors that sell stuff. I'm pretty sure, but mainly it's just like a place to like meet other people and like see panels and stuff like that.
Yeah, PAX specifically they have like tournaments for some games like Smash Brothers. They have teasers for new games that are coming out, so you can like kind of play a demo of it before it comes out. They have centers where you can actually play PC games and retro games. When we went there was a whole room filled with computers, and you can play a lot of Steam games. And for some reason, League of Legends as well. I was tempted to do that because I do play League. If I was like, nah, we'll be here forever if I did that. Plus, there'd be a lot of people flaming
Yeah.
each other anyways.
Yeah.
But the best part was like there was a retro gaming room, so they wouldn't allow you to bring your own games because I actually did bring some games, including Mario 64, the Japanese cartridge. But no, you had to like buy the games from them to like rent, and you would put them like on the consoles and play them for like a session.
I see.
It was kind of cool.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, what's it called? Yeah, I could totally understand why the league room would be like flaming because what's it called?
Everybody just yells at each other in the room. You mother.
Yeah, what's it called? My brother played League for a bit, and I just heard him yell constantly when he was playing it.
Yeah.
So
It's an
what
interesting
League of
game.
Legends does to your brain.
Yeah. That's why I always have chat muted every time I play.
Yeah, I can get that.
But you can probably, I think next time I can probably bring, an EverDrive or something.
Yeah.
But then again, I can just bring my computer.
Daniel just posted, imagine using an EverDrive there.
Oh, well, there you go. He's on the right track.
Anyway, do you have any like long form questions that you can think of, or are we just gonna go on to one more little section?
KT, if you have any questions.
Not really, actually.
Okay.
I can say I have.
This is only episode 1, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a few topics that I'll go through, I guess, because we're still a little short.
Yeah.
So basically, how these topics work is this is basically how the actual thing is going to be for the most part, where where somebody's going to introduce a topic and then we're just going to talk about that topic for a bit.
Yeah.
So all of these topics are from before SRM because there hasn't been much news or anything since SRM, so it's yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is recently Cable actually got a 3 hours or something, 3 hour and something time in D3313 140 something star. I don't remember the star count because the star count is not
44.
Yeah, 144.
That's that beta hack, right?
Yeah, that's the beta hack. And I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was it seems like a very interesting speedrun that I don't ever want to do. Basically, part of the problem with the speedrun, in my opinion at least, is that there's some levels that you have to that take forever to get to because you have to. Basically, what hack works is it's like a big open world hack, and then every time you get a star, you spawn in the same location. So there's some courses that you can get to pretty quickly, but there's some courses that you need to go through 5 different courses to get to, because that's how the hack works. Kington, you played it, and I played it.
Yeah.
Pathing is such a good game mechanic to keep players intrigued.
Yeah, it's a fun hack. I won't lie, it is a very fun hack in my opinion, but it's just confusing, and routing that hack has got to be a nightmare.
Yeah, back when I, going back to when I played, in 2009, 2010, there was, a buttload of those hacks, too, those beta hacks. I mean, there still is to this day.
Yeah,
people still making.
Yeah, people just, at least B3313 and Gamma 64, they're more hacks that have a beta aesthetic versus actual beta recreations, which is
Those
good.
seem like the most polished hacks I've seen.
Yeah. But, there's so
Especially
many,
Gamma.
yeah, there's so many beta recreations, it's just a meme at this point.
Some hacks even incorporated some of those beta elements. I think early Kaze hacks might have added the beta trampoline and there's some hacks that use the yellow switch. And uses the keys, the boo keys.
What was it? Random Road used the yellow switch.
Oh.
Early
Basically,
Gale
they
hacks
find a way to put it in.
Early Gale hacks used the beta Mario Cam.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I remember. Luigi in the Forest Ruins, unrebooted.
Yeah. The original Forest Ruins also used the yellow switch.
Oh yeah, it did. I remember now. Yeah, I played that game until I think you told me about a star that required a stupid wall kick thing to do because it's impossible normally, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this thing. And that's when I stopped.
You had to walk it all the way up to the top of the level, but the collision was awful, and also your angle keeps changing.
Yeah. So yeah, old Gale hacks, don't play them unless you want to. And if you want to play them, I don't know what's wrong with you.
If you play them, play it ZA2.
Yeah, if you play a Gale hack, play ZA2.
And if you want to
And
try
Master's
your
Challenge.
experience,
And
then don't
Master's
play
Challenge.
Master Challenge.
No, do play Master's Challenge. Highly recommend it. Star Road 1 coming soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Master's Challenge is also a good one. What was it?
But I guess if you're interested in beta hacks, I'd say Gamma 64 is probably the most polished one. It does get a bit. You have to get used to it a little bit
Yeah,
because I think you can't jump kick. I believe
yeah. Gamma
things like that.
64 is what's it called? B3313 is different. B3313 is more interesting. Like B3313 is more of like a unique hack with a beta aesthetic versus a beta hack, if that makes any sense. The Gamma 64 is more of a beta recreation while still trying to be fun, but like B3313, it's very much a hack of a beta aesthetic. But like even then, like there's definitely levels in there that are completely not like beta at all. Like there's one level from SM64 DS. Remember?
Like one that's actually from there.
Yeah, like it's not like ripped from it, but like it's based off of the the level.
One.
Yeah, there's one. Oh, there's actually two levels that I remember. There was the Bowser one and not Bowser. Yeah, the one where you unlocked Mario. That level was
That toxic one.
yeah, the toxic one. I remember seeing that in D3313, and then there was the one
It's
in
like King Goomba.
and then there was the one in the graveyard, the courtyard. I mean,
That's that like red coin spread out. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah. But whenever I saw this level, so I was like so happy because I was just like, this is so. I wasn't expecting this in this hack for some reason.
And most importantly, it had that sunshine level as well.
Oh, it did.
DS. Yeah. Well, DS did. I don't know about that hack.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually kind of back to the topic that I was talking about though. I'm actually kind of impressed with the Cable's run, just because of how like crazy that game seems to run.
Cable's been around for a long time. He used to make playthroughs of like many hacks way back then.
Oh yeah, I don't. I remember because I used them as like tutorials for the longest time.
He's still making them to this day.
Yeah. What was it?
But I think we could use more videos like that.
Yeah,
not just to help
agree.
people, because I've been doing that a lot. I mean, I've been taking a little break from that, but I've been making full playthroughs of like not to sell out or anything. But, I have like the KPRs and things like that as full playthroughs, so it's just like one video. We can check any star.
Yeah, I think
whenever you want in one.
I think I used yours for 1 star and 10 years after in Course 7. I think.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
But because not only does it like help people, but it also gives those hacks more exposure this way. So it's like I want to know what this whole hack is about. Oh, here's one video where you can just see everything you want.
Yeah.
If you want.
What was it though? What's it called? What I was saying though, I was trying to talk about something. Basically, I know from experience that routing open world hacks is a really annoying. What's it called? I know that from Fantasy 64, mind you.
Well, I think me and KT have that one particular hack we can talk about when it comes to open world.
Yeah, I'll explain. I'll talk about that, and I'll ask you guys about that in a second. But what's it called? Like Fantasy 64 100 star. Actually, my old route is actually really bad. I learned recently, but like it's very hard to tell that because it feels like a completely good route, and then you realize there's so many stars there to take forever. But it just doesn't feel like it because you're getting half of the star and half of the since you're grabbing like part of the stars and parts of the levels and parts of the stars and the other parts of the levels, it gets kind of confusing.
Yeah.
It gets kind of confusing to tell how long an individual star takes. But what I learned recently, my idea, and I don't think anyone's actually done this before, until I came up with the idea. So I put all the like split times in a spreadsheet, and then I got the average average number of minutes per star, and I actually used that to see which levels I needed to replace stars and stuff like that, which levels I needed to reroute and all of that, and it's actually been a very good help in rerouting the game because it basically tells you how long each level is in like an actual like quantifiable term.
It does making routing open world hacks more interesting, because it's like, there could be many situations where this is faster, that's faster. This
Yeah.
level, I can get to this level much faster if I do this level first. It might be slow
Yeah.
at first, but it's faster, like endgame.
Yeah,
Something like that.
what's it called? In Fantasy 64, I basically tried to beeline it to the wing cap as soon as possible because normally you actually need key 1 for the wing cap, but I use a BLJ in the first overworld to go over there because the thing is about the wing cap is that it's very abusable in course 1. And so you really can't go to course 1 until you get the wing cap.
Wing cap's just abusable, just like anywhere for the
Yeah.
most part, except LTT.
Yeah. So there was the wing cap. Yeah. But yeah. In my old route, once I was done with the wing cap level, I went down to course 2. But in my new route, I realized it's actually faster to get some stars in course 7, which I actually didn't get in my old route. So that's nice. And go to course, and yeah, I'm not going to explain the whole route because that would take forever, and this isn't a fantasy stream.
Not yet.
Yeah. So
Someday.
what were you guys going to talk about with your open world hacks?
I guess the ones I played. The first one I played was it literally had open world name, Open World Quest
Yeah.
by Crash.
Yeah, open world quest was amazing.
I like the hack a lot because yes, it's based on vanilla, but it just made it feel different. It still
Yeah.
felt like a different experience, despite it's like, oh, it's reusing the vanilla levels, but it's like, wait, these actually feel connected very well. It makes Super Mario, because Mario 64 is a very disjointed game.
Yeah.
The levels have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, but in the open world quest, it actually
He
feels
changed
like
the level.
he changed
He
the level.
changed the level themes to make it like more coherent, but
Yeah.
it still works.
Because Sunshine, that was a game that wanted to make you feel you were just in one world and you were exploring different parts
Yeah.
of the world and you were opening each part of the world,
Yeah.
so it felt like discovery as
Yeah.
well.
Whereas in
That kind of takes that same design choice.
yeah, in SM64 regular, this isn't a problem. It's just an interesting thing I have to note.
Hmm.
What's it called? In the regular SM64, in what was it? In something. In regular SM64, like I think the whole rationale behind having like the levels be so different is because each level is like each painting is like an opening to a new world.
Yeah.
But in open world quest, it's kind of like each like level entrance is like just like a connection between this world and the previous world. And
This
so
is
they
one
have to,
connected
like-
world. You
yeah.
can visit each section if you want.
Yeah. And it was actually kind of... I actually really liked that. I know King Toad...
Because Mario's done that in the past.
Yeah.
One of the first games to do that was like Super Mario World. That was one big world that you traveled to different parts of
Yeah.
it, but it was still the same world. Whereas
Yeah.
Mario Bros. 3, those are separate lands that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
I guess technically the whole thing is the Mushroom Kingdom,
But
but then
it's-
again, it still doesn't feel coherent.
Yeah, Mario...
The only thing that felt coherent was traveling from World 5 land to World 5 sky.
yeah.
That felt connected.
Well,
Even
obviously.
then, that was only via warp pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Toad, do you want to talk about an open world hack or something?
Not Dream
Talk
Edition.
about Dream Edition. Terrible.
We all
Open
knew we
world
were getting
hack.
to this point. It had to be mentioned at some point of this podcast.
Yeah. We've already mentioned it earlier. This is like the...
Oh yeah.
I just don't think Kaizos and open world don't. I just think open world Kaizos don't mix well.
Yeah.
Like Lost Universe 1.5 also
I kind of agree because you kind of just like here's the problem with open world Kaisers, and I think it could be fixed if you use like custom coding and stuff. The main problem that I found with open world Kaisers is that every time that I restart a hack, I usually try to actually like legitimately get to the level that I previously was in a Kaiser hack. The problem with open world Kaizos is that you really can't do that because you just have to go through so much Kaizo platforming to get back to the level that you just want to skip to it because you've already done it before.
And there's also lives to worry about.
So yeah, like a good thing that I think you could do would be something like you know how like in the regular SM64 how there's like a debug level select? Maybe you could do it so that once you get a star in a level or once you just enter a level, then like the levels select for that level unlocks. I know that Lost Universe 1.5 did something similar, but I don't like Lost Universe 1.5's thing there either. just because the problem with the big gigantic staircase is that it's a big gigantic staircase that's really boring to climb up. So yeah.
Part of the reason why they don't work together is because they have different focuses.
Yeah.
Open world hacks and casual hacks make more sense because the casual hack is not designed to be more. Kaizos are meant to be more platform oriented.
Yeah.
That's how they're designed to be. They're not designed to like immerse you necessarily as a casual hack would.
I don't
That's
think,
why they don't really mix.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive though. Just most Kaiser hacks.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's just harder to connect those two things compared to casual hacks, but it can work.
Yeah.
One of the things I think it could work is that no lives would probably work in this case because you don't have to travel all the way back if you get a game over.
Oh yeah.
Dream Edition, especially in speedruns when you do 93 star or 38 star.
That sounds. I just realized now why that sounds terrible. It's a speedrun.
Yeah.
Another thing could be like if you have a certain amount of stars, there's a quicker warp to get to the later levels. Like let's say it takes a while to get this part of the world than this world. If you have enough stars, he has a quicker access. This way it's like, oh, I can get to like course 7 or course 8 much quicker than before. So
it also gives incentive for the player to get more stars.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, if you want to think of it like fast travel, like, Breath of the Wild, like,
I see,
fast travel.
You can have it, but you gotta earn it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of like, I guess, Fly in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
What's it called? My opinion, I like open world hacks because I get immersed in them in a way that, like, regular hacks, it's harder to get immersed in them. And that's why I've always enjoyed open world hacks. Like, Star Revenge 8 is another hack that I actually got kind of immersed in. Just because it was, like, open world and all connected and all that. And that's just harder to do in, like, a regular world where you just go into paintings that have completely random areas that you're going to.
Yeah. Probably because they focused more on the platforming side and the visual side.
Yeah.
I think Star Revenge 4 and 4.5 also did open world very well. And I feel like you especially gotta give 4 that it managed to do open world very well for being a hack released at the beginning of 2014. Yeah. Even if it's, a bit shitty nowadays.
Yeah.
I think it did it very well, and then I think 4.5 just made it better.
Yeah.
It was probably
especially
like a product of its time.
4.5 also has, it also introduced fast travel.
Yeah, the
by
overworld.
Going into the castle and having enough stars.
What was a... Can't think of any other open world hacks actually off the top of my head that we haven't mentioned. There's one.
SR Zero is not open world, but I kind of like its design where it's like you can just like choose any level you want.
Yeah. I had an idea for an open world hack that I've kind of abandoned now, but basically, the idea for the open world hack was basically it's kind of based off open world quest in that like all the levels are vanilla recreations, but they're actually model rips. They're not just like texture swaps.
Yeah.
And the main thing about it though is that you can literally go to any of the levels at the very start. Like there's like 6 different branching paths or something. And you can go to any of the paths. There's no star requirements. There's only 1 star requirement, and it's on the top of the castle. And it's like the 3. And then when you go to that star requirement, there's 3 different like levels. I think I called them dimensions, like Dimension X, Dimension Y, and Dimension Z. And they're kind of like corrupty levels, kind of. You know that one Pokemon Platinum area, kind of like that.
Distorted world.
Yeah, Distorted world. Kind of like variations on that kind of concept, and then you got to the end of the game, and you beat Bowser, but that was where the only star requirement actually was. And I was thinking of maybe also having an extra star requirement just for like a bonus level, but doesn't matter. I've abandoned the concept anyway.
Basically, an incentive to like, just keep exploring.
If somebody wants to use it, I'd be totally glad if somebody would want to make it, but...
Hey, that's my idea. You stole my idea.
And what's it called? But also, it makes sense if nobody wants to actually make it, because I didn't want to make it anymore.
Maybe when I'm done with SRMC, maybe. Although I probably want a break from that afterwards.
Yeah, but anyway, like I try not to like divulge my major hack ideas, and the only time that I actually do is whenever I've abandoned them, basically. Yeah, I like keeping my major hack ideas a secret, mainly just because I want people to be surprised whenever they actually play it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, control information flow whenever that, like, because I am trying to think of, like, I am trying to actually make a major hack.
I guess that's kind of why I haven't been really showing SRMC that much in the past. Like, aside from that one video that just showed all those new levels. But even before then, I wasn't, like, crazy showing off the development of SRMC, because sometimes in the text channels on Discord, you can see, which is fine, of course, you see people post images like, "Oh, I got this level done, guys," or "I got this mechanic done." They basically like show off their progress, and some of them even stream it too.
Yeah,
they
but it's a demo.
Making the levels. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But for this one, it's kind of the same reason as you. I want to keep things mostly a surprise and be like, "Oh, this is actually cool. Oh, this theme is. I like this a lot."
Yeah, like what's it called?
It's people intrigued.
Yeah, there was something. One last thing I wanted to talk about on this topic or on the topic of like keeping things a secret. Another reason why I tried to keep things a secret. So the first reason is just because, you know, I want to control the information flow. I want to make sure that people see, like, whenever people see the hack, I want people to like have a certain perception coming into it. You know, I don't want people to like, because that's like a big thing. If people like, that's another thing. What's it called? That's also another reason why, like, even whenever I release, like, mini hacks, I try not... The only exception to this is 24-hour hack, which I streamed the entire progress of, but that's because it was made in 24 hours, so...
That was like a challenge, like a self-challenge.
That was much less... That wasn't really, like, a hack that I was actually, like, working on. But, like, when even, like, the stuff like Dinfix Bomb Dojo, which I released, I didn't, like, post anything about that, because... Like, about, like, what the hack was about, because I wanted people to be, like... I wanted people to be surprised about like what it actually was about.
Who's done like what has been the most like surprising hack that just came out that hasn't like got any reception whatsoever? I can't really think of it right now. But there have been hacks like that where it just came out and people were like, "What? This is a thing?"
Yeah, I like, if I ever release a major hack, I would definitely, like, make a trailer or something. But it would definitely be, like, what's it called? Like, it wouldn't be a surprise, but it would be mysterious. That's a better way of saying it.
Yeah. Because when I released the SRMC demo for the first time, people were like, "This is a thing? These guys are making a hack now?" Crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess people just wanted a hard Star Road for a long time. Because it does have potential to be a Kaizo.
What's it called? Like,
in a way.
The first thing that people wanted after, like, EE came out, after, like, all the Kaiser Hounds wanted Skellex to make, like, a Star Road EE, and it was like, no.
Yeah. I mean, if Star World isn't happening, then that won't happen either.
What did it say? King Ted?
Honestly, fair. Like, if he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
What was it say?
Was LTT kind of a surprise or no? Did people really get surprised by that he was going to make an extreme version of LDD?
Well, we kind of knew that he was making...
I'd say LDD was more of a surprise than LTT.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because he was, after LTT, he was making, or after LDD, he said that he was making a hack, and basically everybody was like, okay, this is probably LTT.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, LTTEE.
Yeah.
You know, since we didn't know the name at the time, but yeah.
I played LTT when it came out. I never actually finished it because I didn't like... I got stuck on the last thing in course 3 on the original version.
Clock one.
Yeah, and I didn't want to play any of the newer versions just because I want to beat the original version before I actually do any of the newer versions.
Yeah, that's a good example. LDD was like, oh wow, 74 and 74E is such a classic, and now he's coming back to even make more. This is insane.
Yeah, like he hadn't made hacks in like like years, so it was a surprise.
It's like, oh, Omega, who made Kaizo Mario 64, is coming back, or something like that.
Yeah, no, he's never coming back. Kaizo Mario, even if he did, nobody would ever play Hack because Kaizo Mario 64 is not fun.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know how you pronounce it. You know, the creator of Nightmare 64?
Pious?
Apius? You say like Apius?
Apoius? I don't know. Apoius?
AP. I'll just call him AP.
No,
Not
but
the
it's...
AP you're thinking of.
Yeah, a different AP.
The other AP. Yeah. AP's... Yeah. I think he has potential too because last year I played Test Worlds and actually had a lot of potential because he actually had a lot of custom mechanics in it too.
What's it called? The guy that made New Star made another hack called Mario's Future as a demo, and the levels in that are actually pretty good, and they have the custom mechanics. It's especially good considering it's like a what's it called? An editor hack. It was made like in 2016, so the custom mechanics are actually special then. And
There has been people like coming back.
But
Raptor, I heard, is coming back for Insane Edition.
Who's coming out? Who's coming back for Insane Edition?
A Raptor. You ever played Insane Edition, which is like that Womp's Fortress hard level?
Demo?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I heard he's coming back like to do more levels as well.
Yeah. Well.
And what's funny is I heard that news right when I made my full playthrough of that. I was like, of course.
Yeah. What was it? Is there any other people that... You know what would be the biggest surprise? If Skelix just released a new SM64 hack. Not SM64DS, SM64. It would be a surprise if Skelix released an SM64DS hack. To be fair.
He actually had a Star Road 2, like, demo. Well, not demo, but preview of, like, the first level.
Yeah, Star World. And then the problem is, I don't think Star World will ever release.
Yeah. It's kind of suffering the same fate as Project 74, which you can argue has basically been released because of the likes of TYA and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Project 74. Is there any other like hacks that will never release that I can? I know there's one more.
That's what I'm saying. No. Technically, the original Masters Challenge, because that was supposed to have its finished levels.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I think like it was supposed to have like course 14 and all that. Course 14 was supposed to be like 4 different levels or something.
Yeah, Math updated it, and like it had course 13. The rest of the stars in course 9.
Yeah.
And for some reason, some like extra star in II, which was random.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like totaled up to like
long jump
2.
in the middle of nowhere. Find a metal box that has a rope on it.
Genius.
What was it? There were in Master Challenge, so I'm pretty sure there are unused levels that just never got used. I think it's course 12 and course 11 are unused, but they're still in there.
I'm not sure if the story is true, but I think it was originally gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first. KT.
Course 12 actually has a star on top of the mountain, but I don't think it's accessible without cheating. Like
It's a rainbow. It's like a rainbow level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like Rainbow Drugs Mountain, basically.
Yeah,
Drug Mountain.
Yeah. Drug Mountain.
But I don't know if the story is true. I think the story goes like Gale lost those files to 11, 12, like the missing levels in Masters Challenge, and that's why they ended up not being there. So like Math had to finish what was given to him at that point. Although I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, yeah, he gave up too, I think.
Because it would have been cool to see Wet Dry World and like,
especially
TikTok Clock.
Wet Dry World. I think Wet Dry World's also in the files in like the thing, but it's just.
I think the only one that's not is course 14. I think.
Yeah. This doesn't have anything in it.
Because course 11 actually has a really good music track too that goes unused. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I could talk all day about music. I just made
exactly.
I just made
we
3
have a whole
music
file
quizzes.
Considered with that.
What's it called? I have like what's it called? I uploaded the entire like music quiz mega pack just so that people could see all the information, all the music. It's like 2 gigabytes large.
The one you gave us was like 3.
Yeah, that also has the space looping video in the background.
Well, I got something to listen to while I exercise. Thanks.
Yeah, it's It's a 5-hour playlist, which is a lot considering that I was sitting there for 5 hours recording every single song.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And for the end of this cast, we're going to be playing the music quiz.
Yeah, no, we're not. I can play random hacks with you both were in a music quiz that had these songs in them, and so it would be unfair.
Yeah.
Also, KT would win.
Not
Quite.
necessarily.
You could also have like me play, and then Loka, you're the host or something like that. But also, I recorded all of these songs.
Yeah. You just know them by
Yeah,
heart
that's
because you
what we
recorded all of
played.
them.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll play Mario Party instead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this is probably the end of the cast. It's been about an hour, right?
An hour and 16 minutes, yeah.
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 It's like with the intro, so it's been a little over an hour ago.
Yeah. So
This one was like a lot of it was pretty spontaneous and like just came naturally, which is fine.
Yeah,
But
I think we did pretty well for our first time, mainly.
yeah. We'll
Yeah.
delve into like specific topics in the future episodes.
Yeah. Do you guys want to rate anyone, or are we just gonna end?
Let's
We
see.
could rate someone.
Let's raid the LCS. It's at 9.8k right now. Or Simply.
We've got
Simply.
Pluto, Drunk Crazy, but Drunk Crazy's playing the 1,000-Year Door, but
Oh, nice.
I don't think Loco
Oh,
will be against
Toaster.
it.
Yeah,
I would rate Toaster. He only has one view. We can do that.
I'm in favor of Toaster.
I can do Toaster.
Yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this
Yeah.
episode.
So-
And we promise that there will not be an episode specifically dedicated to TIC or fantasy.
You have to also promise fantasy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just replace you two with Aggie, Jarp, and Phanton, and then it would just be fantasy.
Let's just bring the guy who doesn't talk.
Oh yeah, Jarp
Really?
doesn't talk. Like replace you two with Aggie, Phanton, and somebody else.
Skellex.
Skellex plays fantasy.
Waluigi hacker.
Yeah, these are all very serious guest ideas. Next time we're starting with Waluigi hacker.
I can't wait to bring Normal X as a guest.
Yeah.
Tell us about the development of 76 Strange Adventures.
Tell us about the development of Black Virus. So I got a bottle of paint and a big piece of paper, and I got a bunch of bottles of paint, and I just poured it all over haphazardly.
So I went to the bathroom, I took a shit, and voila, I made a hack.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, hope you enjoyed. This will be like a weekly series, so
Yeah.
stay tuned in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and if one of the three hosts, this one I wanted to make sure that everyone was here, but in the future, if like somebody's not here, we'll just replace them with a random person that we can.
We'll stick to like Sundays, because Sundays I'm off from work.
Yeah, Sundays seem good for this. Toaster ketchup.
And if you missed today's episode, check the VOD channel on YouTube.
Yeah, well, not yet. I'm gonna upload it after the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Toaster's doing hacking stuff. Wait, what?
That hack get finished, by the way? Phenomenal, I think it was.
I don't think it's finished yet.
Phenomenal.
So yeah.